Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this episode. I'm excited again that you're here. I am really thrilled each time you decide to listen to one of these episodes. So, whether it's your first time listening or you've been listening for a little while, thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. Charlotte Huntley, and I'm your host. I'm a public health entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in healthcare and public health. And I've helped a lot of entrepreneurs along the way. Now, on this podcast, we focus on topics of interest to public health professionals who are at this intersection of public health and entrepreneurship. I've been a podcaster for quite a while, although this podcast is new. I've been podcasting since 2017, and I love being able to use this platform to share information, to connect with people, and to build a community. So, on this topic, I'm actually going to continue sharing some monetization tips, some ideas to inspire you if you are just thinking about starting, or if you've already gotten started, but you're looking at how you can kind of spread your wings a bit, or maybe you're just trying to decide, what this may look like for you. You've been working, you've got some experience, maybe your experience is in one niche area, or it's a bit varied, but maybe you're just trying to see what are the possibilities, right? So last episode, which was episode 13, I went into a few examples for inspiration, and it was inspired by a question we received from someone who was listening. So thank you for whoever submitted that question around funding sources. Can we discuss funding? So just go back to episode 13, listen to that, where I kind of started with that question, but then ended up pivoting to this topic. So, all right, I'm not going to repeat. So you just go back, listen to 13 when you get a chance. But that episode and discussing that, it inspired me to share a little bit more with you for, inspirational ideas. So as I've mentioned before, we are going to have some guests on this podcast coming up who will just share their stories, their examples, their inspiration for you to get some real life examples for you to just kind of tap into. All right. So I'm going to continue on sharing about some of these ways that you can monetize your skills, your expertise in your business, in whatever direction you go as an entrepreneur. So here are a few more ideas for inspiration. So under this idea, this sort of social consciousness or social entrepreneurship, which is, it's kind of where I'm focusing my examples for you today. And this is where I think there's a great opportunity for those of you who are accustomed to nonprofit organization structure. And that's the way you've worked in that sector. You want to now be an entrepreneur, but you're not really sure how to do anything differently other than setting up a nonprofit organization. So social entrepreneurship, I think, provides an opportunity to bring together what you may feel and know and like about a nonprofit structure, but with what you also are attracted to as an entrepreneur. So I'll let you really dive into the definition and deep dive into that for yourself. But in a sort of in a nutshell and simply put, social enterprises are focused on addressing public health challenges, but it's a business model where it generates revenue and it also has a positive impact. So maybe providing a service or providing products to people in need, but without the structure of a nonprofit. So let's say, I'll give you an example here. Maybe you are providing affordable healthcare services to underserved communities, or you're distributing health products to those in need. An example that comes to mind when I think about social entrepreneurship that you may be familiar with is Bomba Socks, because they are a socially conscious. So a portion, when you purchase the product, they donate a product to people in need, homeless shelters, or people who don't, maybe not have them. There was other companies in the past where when you purchase or you buy their shoes, they then donate shoes to someone who needs shoes. So those are some examples that you may be familiar with. There are also examples where when you purchase their products, certain brands, these are, commercial businesses, but when you buy their brand, their products, they always donate a percentage or a certain amount of that fund. So from the purchase, the proceeds of those sales go to some charitable event. So something specific in the community where it's helping someone in need. Those are some of the examples. And that's a model I encourage you to explore. If you feel so invested and that's really what you've known is the nonprofit model, but that's not exactly what you want to replicate it or do. It's almost the nice blend between the nonprofit world and entrepreneurship or commercial industry. So explore that option for yourself, that avenue for yourself. But kind of in the same, I thought these kind of come together. Some of the other examples I'm going to share with you kind of fit this category really well. So think about health technology solutions. And that's top of mind for me because I am constantly meeting people who are putting to action some of their creative ideas in information technology to solve some of our big public health challenges. I know of people, and I wish I had looked this up ahead of time, but the just came to mind to me as I'm talking about this. I met someone who started a company where they developed solutions for folks that are hearing impaired. And they had the innovation. They went through the route of getting funded so that they could provide make this available. And that's a revenue, that's an option, and that's an avenue, I should say, not a revenue, but an avenue to go. And if you have information technology, you have partner with someone who's interested, they have a device or an idea for a device or some sort of technology, some piece or some solution that addresses a public health challenge. That's a really rewarding route to go for folks that are really interested in that type of innovation. So it could be developing a software, an app. We have a lot under this umbrella of digital health. So it could be developing an app. Some may argue that Calm app really is in that direction, in that example, in that vein. Other technology examples, they're really unlimited. If you think about it, or you think that you have an idea for an app, a software, or some sort of tangible device that could be a solution for public health, I think you could find someone in the technology field that would really be interested in partnering to see how to bring that to life. Or maybe you have your own resources and your ideas and partners where you could bring your ideas to life. That's definitely something worth considering for a lot of folks. And then you think about the telemedicine platforms and how that has changed really since the pandemic. Health monitoring devices, data analytics tools, even. Everyone's, trying to make data informed decisions. I should use air quotes. An idea to make that easier. So tracking and managing public health trends. So there's an unlimited possibilities in this direction. So for health technology solutions, if those of you who are really drawn in that area, this is a great avenue to explore for being able to monetize your business ideas in a venture for you that could be very rewarding. Remember, this is all about developing and creating businesses of your dreams. So allow yourself to be creative and explore what those options look like. What about, so I talked about this health technology solutions and partner with folks in information technology field with your public health expertise and their IT expertise. That's a really powerful combination. Think about, don't dismiss. I had someone else that I met who developed a diagnostic kit for endometriosis. And prior to this kit, the only diagnostic method was through surgery, very invasive. And this was a non-invasive procedure or low invasive procedure for this diagnosis. So she told me, and she has a background in business, and she partnered with some biomedical folks to develop this. But she told me that she really wished she had met someone or knew someone with public health expertise early on. And at the time that I met her, she was, several years into this company. So I think it's great to partner and collaborate with other businesses, either, and even nonprofit organizations, those larger ones, those agencies, but especially other industries slightly outside of public health. people are really curious about public health and the possibilities and how to solve some of the problems. So, as public health professionals, especially if you're an entrepreneur, then look for some of this, the right partnerships and potential collaborations, and explore those types of relationships and see where it leads you. I love the creativity, the ability to just kind of spread our wings and test things out and see what happens. And it's nice to, I always say, think outside the box, but I really mean that. So, you know, even if you, wherever you've worked, you may have felt like it was already designed for you, like your job description, your expectations, all those things. As an entrepreneur, everything's wide open. You get to decide, you get to create. So, see where this leads you. I'd like to remind you of our mastermind group program. And I'm reminding you because if you're listening to this episode in real time as it's being released, then you have an opportunity to apply and join us. We only open enrollment 2 times a year. We open enrollment in June. You're able to enroll in June for our cohort that's in onboard at that time for our cohort that starts in July. And you're also able to enroll in December and onboard for our cohort that starts in January. Those are the only 2 times a year. So if you're listening at the time that this episode's being released, then you can explore this program on our website. It is it's an incredible way for entrepreneurs to come together. And we've come together from all over the United States, from the UK, from Guam, and we meet and we work and interact virtually, but we also have a 2-day retreat that happens twice a year. And that's a great way to really solidify and level up those relationships and to really like plug in and get charged up to go back and do the work that you're called to do with your business. So I encourage you to explore. We only invite people to join who have applied. So that's why if you're interested, once you look at our website, we encourage you to apply. Apply just means that you get a chance to get all of your questions answered. And we also get to make sure it's a good mutual fit. Before you sign up, I could give you a link to just sign up, but that's not what we want to do with this particular program. So our website is publichealthentrepreneurs.com. And you just click on mastermind to go to that page, and all the information is there. If you happen to be listening to this episode some other time and it's not during enrollment, I still encourage you to apply because we keep up with those applications between the enrollment period so that we can still answer your questions. And you have, it gives you an opportunity to plan for the next time that we're open. So you get all your questions answered. You'll know if it's something that you will want to do when the enrollment opens or not. So it's still a very good use of time and effort to go ahead and apply if you're at the least bit interested. All right. As I wrap up, I'm going to also ask you, in addition to exploring our mastermind program, but to help us share this podcast. This is really important for us to grow this podcast with listeners who are interested in this niche area, this intersection of public health and entrepreneurship, and for us to continue to do the work that makes this podcast freely available, because I'll continue to share so much information with you through these episodes. So there are easy ways for you to do that. You can share right from the app that you're listening in right now. Just share the episode with a friend. You can share our website, publichealthentrepreneurs.com. Please do with any of your network or friends. And then also you can consider writing a review, a favorable review for us in Apple Podcasts. So that lets people know that this is worth checking out. And you know how we are with reviews. It makes it helps us decide whether or not to give it a chance to either purchase or give it a try. So we appreciate you. Whichever option you choose, we just appreciate you helping us share this podcast. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day.